Hi, I'm Linda Pineacre, psychic medium and author, and we'll be talking about moving energy to create change. And could everyone please say hi and let me know where you're from? One of the most powerful ways to attract what you want is to move energy. And if you'd like to move energy, it's helpful to create space by getting rid of things that are no longer a good fit. I call it clutter attacking your life. And this includes relationships, work, activities, and material belongings. If you feel worse about yourself after spending time with someone and you've tried but you've been unable to improve the relationship, this indicates that you need to either end the relationship or spend a minimum amount of time with that person. You may use telepathic communication to improve relationships. And this simply means thinking of the person and imagining that you're sharing information with the person. You have to start out with letting them know how important the relationship is to you. That's the only way to engage their cooperation. And you tell them what you need them to do, and you also let them know what you're willing to do to help to improve the relationship. It's important to apologize for anything that you've done to cause difficulties between the two of you. And even if you never discuss this in person and have that one-on-one conversation, you can still make a difference to the relationship just through telepathic communication, because everybody's able to receive telepathy even if they're not aware of it. It's done with their higher self, and it can create quite an important change. I know I've certainly used it to improve a couple of relationships, and one of them was a person that I didn't even know where they were, but I needed to ask them for a favor, and I needed to sort of work on it ahead of time. And then when I finally located them, I was able to make that happen. And I could not believe it when that person finally responded to me. They used the exact same words that I had used in my telepathic communication. And they were unusual, so there's just no way that would have happened if they hadn't received it at some level. So I see that Karen's joined me. Hi, Karen. Let us know where you're from. I know where you're from, Cowichan Bay. Your career should be rewarding. Considering how much time you spend working, it's essential that your work is fulfilling. You can look at employment ads, or you can browse school and training calendars, and just make a list of those that appeal to you. It doesn't matter whether or not you're qualified. It's just a matter of looking at what appeals to you so that you can start getting an idea what your interests are. And then from there, you can take a look at what you need to do to achieve it. If you want more to look forward to in your life, that means you need to bring in some new activities, especially if you'd like to meet people. And be a good sport about it. You know, if you don't enjoy it, that's okay. You can quit, but try something else. Don't give in too easily. And give it an honest go, too. When it comes to belongings, it's important to clear your home of items that you don't use or appreciate. And it's easy to tell what those are. They're the ones that you haven't used in a long time and maybe even didn't remember that you owned them. Start getting rid of them. That will help to shift the energy in your home. I know that I had got a used sort of a cottage design night table for beside my bed, and I really liked it. And I was talking to my niece about getting something for the other side of the bed, and you know, I told her it was because I wanted to attract a man into my life. And she says, a man isn't going to care what kind of night table you have beside your bed. I said, no, I know that. I just want to move the energy in my bedroom so it becomes more open. So that's what I did. If you're one of those people who has multiple notes all over your house, or I've seen people when their computer screen's almost completely covered with those little sticky notes, it's important to take the tasks and separate them into those that are high priority and those that aren't. And if you can put them on a list and they're all in one place, put the high priority ones in one place and the other ones in another place, and then when you have some time to take care of something, tackle those lists. And of course do the high priority ones first. But that will help so it won't be quite so overwhelming because you don't have it in your face and all over the place. And yet you don't have to worry about forgetting because you've got easy access to the information. You'll probably discover it'll make quite a difference in terms of how overwhelmed you feel when you have a lot of responsibilities. Sometimes if you make one change, several will follow. It's like an energy shift, and so it creates a chain reaction. So you don't have to think about the whole enchilada and everything all at once. Just do one at a time and just see what unfolds from even just doing the first one. Start by clearing the energy where you live and work. And I have an exercise that I'd like to do with you today. We'll do it together. And I just noticed that Karen says, hey, I did that today. She must have made herself a list of things to do. Good for you, Karen. Okay, so let's do this exercise where I'm going to help you clear energy in either your home or a workspace. So I want you to think about which one you'd like to do. And as soon as you've made a decision, hopefully we can do it together. I'll guide you through the exercise. It's an energy clearing exercise. Now, you don't need to be in your workspace. You don't even need to be in the room in your home. You can be anywhere in the world and it'll still work. It's another thing that you actually do telepathically. So you just imagine it in your mind. So I hope you've got that space chosen. And just psychically ask that the grounding tube that's attached to that space, just ask that it's removed and sent all the way down to the core of the plant to be recycled. You can just ask that in your head. And then I'd like you to imagine a huge tube that's about 10 feet bigger than the base of that space all around. And firmly attach it to the base of the space. And then release all of the energy that's not in affinity with you. Send it all the way down the core of the plant to be recycled. And then imagine attaching 4 cords to each of the 4 corners of the ceiling and each of the 4 corners of the floor, and just draw them all together in the center of the room. So you're standing in the center of the room with those 8 cords in your hand, and 4 of them reach out to the corners of the ceiling, and 4 of them reach out to the corners of the floor. And just hold that space to be your own. And then imagine filling the room up with a bunch of golden suns, and just take the first number that pops into your mind, because you'll get that intuitively, and just break in that number of golden suns into the room. So you just sort of imagine just sort of spilling out into the room, one after the other. And that way you can raise the vibration in that room. So that's how you clear the energy in one room. And what you can do is you just repeat that same exercise in all of the rooms, each one of the rooms in your house, or each one of the rooms in your workspace, or wherever it is, an event space. That's how you can clear that energy and make sure that nothing's there that isn't in affinity with you, and that it's a nice high vibration. Save you a lot of money. You don't need to hire someone to do it for you. No muss, no fuss. It's my favorite way of clearing a space. So if you'd like more change in your life, orange is the color that attracts change. And some people light candles around their home or their workspace. You can change how you dress. You can wear a lot of orange. If you're not crazy about that color, you can do what one person I know did. She dyed all her underwear orange. That brought so much change that after a while she had to switch back. But it is very effective. And you can also use orange decorations. And even just a little simple decal that has orange on it can make a difference, because it changes the energy in the space. So you might want to give that a try. When you're positive, you raise your vibration, which helps you to attract what you want. And this also influences the color of your aura, which influences how people respond to you. So, you know, now, I mean, you may have noticed, we have incredible power to manifest what we want. And that's because of the rising vibration of the universe. You know, Karen must be one step ahead of us. I just know she put burn orange candles. You don't have to burn them, but yeah, burning even moves some energy more because of the heat. So yeah, you can definitely do that. Anyway, because of the rising vibration in the universe, we have more ability to manifest what we want. But you may also raise your vibration through enthusiasm to attract positive things. And the more enthusiastic you are about what's happening in your life, the more that leads to excitement, which also raises your vibration higher and creates a positive spiral so you can attract even more. So when you catch yourself feeling down, it's important to raise your vibration through enthusiasm. Take time to notice what's important to you. What would you like to stay the same in your life? What would you like to change? Because too often we don't really give enough thought to that. So sort that out, because you want to hang on to some and maybe even have more of what feels good, and then get rid of what doesn't feel good. And when you decide to make change, tune into your intuition. Sit quiet, be peaceful, and make sure that this decision resonates with your soul. For me, if I'm going to make a purchase, sometimes all I have to do is touch the thing to know, whoa, that's not right for me. And other times when I reach for it, I know, yes, that's for me. But it's just taking that little moment to sort of tune in and see how it feels. And that will give you an answer about what to do. Once you're clear on the changes you want, just live in the joy as if it's already happened, and that will help to attract it to you. Also, you can express gratitude in advance. So, for example, if I was wanting more time with my friends and family, I might say, thank you, thank you, thank you for me being able to spend more time with my friends and family. And that will help attract that to me. I've definitely found that to be very effective. So as I mentioned before, it's important to focus on being positive. When you worry or have negative thoughts, that's the energy that you're sending out to the universe to be manifested and created for you. That's the energy that's going to come back to you. So to stop that energy from being manifested, it's a good idea to just imagine you've got a rose in your, just imagine in your mind, just put up a rose and imagine putting those thoughts and pictures into that rose, and then place that rose outside your aura, and imagine dropping in an imaginary firecracker or bomb and just think boom and blow it up. And just keep putting up roses, dropping in those thoughts and pictures and blowing them up until you're thinking positively again. That way, at least those negative thoughts won't be sent out in the universe to be manifested. You can also use visualization to help you attract what you want. So if you think about the visual images that you send out to the universe, attract more of the same. So you can use mock-ups to create a vision and ask that it be blessed by the universe and then send it out to be created. So one of the examples I would give for that is, let's imagine that you decide to apply for a job. Just imagine yourself, what you're going to wear to the interview. Imagine yourself being at the interview and presenting yourself with lots of self-confidence, being very personable and pleasant. And imagine the interview going really, really well. And then imagine contacting someone and telling them how excited you are about how well it turned out. And imagine that you get that call to be given the job, and then imagine sharing that news with somebody too. And those are the visual images that you want to send out to the universe to help to create them. And you can do that with almost anything that you want. Just imagine you've got it. Visual images also help you to feel and think the way you'll feel when it happens. And that's one of the reasons that putting an image of yourself on the fridge when you're thinner, if you're trying to lose weight, that's why it works, is because it helps you to send that energy out to the universe, but it also helps you to be more in touch with how good it would feel to look like that and to be that healthy. So, one of the things that people don't often think about is that if you want change in your life, you have to allow it in your life. You have to be willing to let things happen. You know, not everybody's a big risk taker, and a lot of people are really afraid of change. Anytime I'm afraid of something, I'll think, what's the worst that can happen? Because often the worst that can happen isn't that bad. So, for example, if you want a relationship, you have to be willing to make space in your lifestyle to accommodate it. You can't keep working the same number of hours and being busy with this and busy with that if you want a relationship. You have to accommodate it in your lifestyle. Sometimes, if we don't make the changes that we need to make, an illness or an injury or a loss of job or something like that comes along, sort of leaves us flat on our butt with lots of time in our hands to think. And it's because it's time to reevaluate your life and make a change. And then synchronicity will also often help you to get onto your path. It's a lot better, though, if you can take the time, set it aside, and decide that you're going to make a change and evaluate what those choices would be and make it happen, instead of having something happen in your life to leave you so that there you are, you don't have much else to think about. I guess one of the examples I can think of is that I had worked as a counselor for 14 years, and then my husband at the time and I moved down to Colorado. And the day after I moved there, I broke my knee, rollerblading. There I was, in a strange country, strange community, didn't know a soul, couldn't really get around much, and so I really had to start thinking about, gee, you know, what am I going to do with myself? And that's when I started writing. I know it was meant to be, but I would have much rather it happened without the broken knee. If change tends to overwhelm you, make small changes so that you can experience success and build your confidence. You don't have to do everything all at once. Sometimes you can try something out part-time before taking it on full-time. And one of the examples I can think of for that is that when I decided to become a counselor and get my social work degree, I worked. I had 2 children. I was a single parent. And I just took one course to start, just to see whether or not I could do it. And that really reinforced that I was capable, and I was really excited and passionate about it. So in the following semester, I was able to take 4 classes instead of 5 because I had reduced my course load by taking the 1. So I broke myself in a little bit that way. And I went to a college to get that first year. And then after that, I went to university, which was a lot more grueling. But by then, I had, you know, some experience and a lot more confidence. So, what did Karen? Yeah, Karen says, you need to believe you can handle things. Yes, you do. Hi, Meryl. Nice to see you. She's from Victoria. Okay. Sometimes you have to spend money to create money. And it's not even about the creating money, it's the creating the need for money. So say, for example, if you need some education or training, don't talk yourself out of it. It's a good idea to go for it, because it's ironic that once you sign up for that education and training, or once you commit yourself even to the idea, somehow or other you're able to manifest that money. It might be a surprise kind of a windfall, or something, you know, someone decides to help you out that you're not expecting. But sometimes you sort of have to create that need so the universe will bring synchronicity into play and bring a solution so you'll have the money so that you can do it. Hi, Meryl. She says, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Yeah, for sure. One of the most noteworthy things you can do to shift energy is to forgive someone. Resentment and anger take their toll on emotional, spiritual, and physical health. So I have a couple of exercises we can do to help with that. As you know, when you hang on to your anger and fear and resentment, you let someone who's hurt you in the past continue to hurt you. So this forgiveness ritual is a way of helping to overcome that. What you do is you sit alone and write onto an individual index card each of the things for which you feel anger and resentment toward a person or group. And as you feel ready to forgive and let go of one item, you can burn the associated card in a fireplace or a tinfoil plate in your sink, or someplace else where you don't have to worry about starting a fire. So you take all those cards and just pick one at a time, and burn it up, and just stay and watch while it burns and disintegrates. And it's important to wait to burn a card until you're ready to release your feelings. it's sort of like you only get one kick at the cast. You don't want to burn up the card and then still have it left over that it didn't work for you. So wait until you're ready. And while it's burning and disintegrating, just think about releasing all of the anger and resentment that you have towards that person or group, and just sort of let it run down your body and all the way down to the core of the planet to be recycled. Just feel the anger and resentment leave your body and your personal space as you let it go. And as each card reduces to ash, think of the strengths you've developed as a result of that experience. Hi, Heather. It's Heather and Duncan. It doesn't mean you have to forget, just forgive. And you'll feel as though a burden has been lifted. There's no time pressure to burn each of these cards. You can take your time, just do them as you feel ready. And it may take days, it may even take months. But the most important thing is that you're actually ready at the time that you do it. This can also be a healing exercise for couples who are turning things around in their relationship. What each of you does is you write on index cards things that you'd like to forgive your partner for. And you should each have the same number of cards, and some of them need to be blank. The reason for the blank cards is that there may be a time that you get together to burn an item and one of you might not be in the mood, not feel ready to forgive. When you get together for this little ritual and you each choose a card, it's important that you don't let each other know what's on the card or whether or not it's blank. Each time it should look like you're both there, committed to the process of forgiving. Because you're both there. It's just you might not be picking an item that particular time. You can get together once or twice a week to burn cards, or you can schedule less frequently. Whatever works best for you as a couple. So when you burn the cards, spend time together as you burn the cards. And then make sure you do it at a time when neither one of you feels rushed, so you can spend some quiet time together afterwards. I found as a counselor that this had an incredible impact on healing relationships. It goes a very long ways. You can also use this exercise to forgive yourself. Hi, Judy. Gabriel Island. If you're unclear about what you need to do, just write down everything that you are doing the woulda, shoulda, couldas about, the things you criticize yourself about, the things you feel down about that you've done, and just put each of those on a card. And when you're ready to let it go, burn one of the cards, and then just feel all those feelings of anger and resentment in yourself. Just feel them run down your body and all the way down to the core of the plant to be recycled. Just let it go. Does anybody have any questions they'd like, or something they'd like me to address today? If you would, now's your chance. If you're wanting change in your life and you don't know where to go and what to do, take some time to either meditate or participate in some activities that lead you to be really quiet and focused, because this will make you more receptive to intuitive messages. And you may not, during the meditation or during the relaxation, you may not even be aware that you're receiving intuitive messages. A lot of time what happens is that you get them and then they're just sort of available for when you're ready to tune into them. Without you even knowing that that's what's happening. Just all of a sudden you've got this light bulb idea and it's actually been brought to you intuitively, and you may or you may not realize that. I see nobody's got anything else that they want to ask about for this. I would really appreciate if anybody that's watching, if you could send me any ideas you have about what you'd like me to cover in future events, future live events, because I will be doing this about once a month. There isn't anything else that I wanted to cover today, and I guess you don't have any questions because there's none sitting there. My next event is called Joy in Daily Living, and it'll be on November 14th, a Wednesday again, at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. And you can ask any questions below or offer ideas, as I suggested. This recorded event will be on my business page if you want to look at it again or catch up on if you missed part of it. And I hope to see you at the next one. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.